Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hosts&Co. As always, I am your host, Kraus,
And I'm Finley.
and welcome to episode 6.
Yay!
Yay!
As usual, we'll start off with the progress report.
Yay! I've done nothing.
Same here. We're going up north for 3 weeks or so. That's always fun. We'll be in literally the middle of nowhere. But at least we'll have internet, so we can still talk and stuff.
Nice. I am currently staying at my parents' house. That will probably change soon, but I'm not sure when. Oh, I know what I can talk about. It was my birthday, 3 days ago.
Yeah!
Yeah.
He's 20 now.
I'm 20 now. I'm old. I'm withering away.
You can say that when you're 80, okay?
Just give me this.
You still can't legally drink in the US. That is not that old.
Yeah, well, I'm not in the US, am I?
Well, still, it's the concept.
I'm gonna open a bottle of whiskey now just to prove you wrong. Oh, I can't reach it, never mind.
Also, the person that we're going up north to stay with is my godsister, and she actually knows about Nick. And they're kind of besties. So they talk all the time, and it's cool. It's cool that he can be open and not have to worry about it while we're up there, so.
It's always good to hang around with some people who know.
Yep. Okay. I think that's it for progress. We haven't really done much.
Yeah.
Just kind of been flubbing. Okay, next up, we wanted to take the time to mention a new site, tulpa.io. I don't want to say it's kind of like Reddit because it's not, but it's another place for all you newbies to hang out and everybody else to congregate, meet, and talk and chat and stuff. It's cool. Nick and I are on there. I think, are you on there, Chris? I think you are.
I am, yes.
Okay.
You guys are following me.
Oh yeah, that's right, we are. It's really cool. We like it. It's a lot smaller than Reddit Tulpas, but hopefully this mention will bring everybody and swarm and cool place to hang.
Oh, and you can create sub-accounts for your tulpas as well, which is awesome.
Yes, you can. So, no more hassle of switching back and forth, which it's cool.
Yeah.
We like it. Moving on. We are going to introduce a new topic a couple weeks from now when we have the Newbie podcast. This one, we had to push the Newbie podcast back because I'm leaving up north tomorrow. So this is going to be a quick podcast just to put one out there so you don't forget about us. But if you guys have ever seen Markiplier, it's kind of like you make a sentence and everyone makes a sentence to keep going around and make a story. We're going to try to incorporate tulpas into the stories as much as possible, and hopefully it'll be fun for you guys to hear and to make and all that jazz.
Because we never have our own stories.
Moving on to, this is kind of a controversial topic, so we're kind of hesitant to talk about it, but what's the point of having a podcast if we don't talk about stuff like this? Reddit Tulpas on the IRC is moving back to Rise On. Possibly.
Yes.
We're not really sure how we feel about this. What about you guys?
I have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of arguments for and against. From what I've seen, pretty much everybody who's, left a comment is against it.
Yeah, we've seen that too.
Yeah, but, I mean, according to some of the mods, the polls are for it at the moment, so I don't know, it's all up in the air.
I mean, all of the questions that I had have been answered in the threads, but the only other problem that we'd have is how do we set up hex chat to move back? I know when .info moved, we were like, we're never really on there anyway, so let's just kind of not worry about it until we absolutely have to. Our laptop is a piece of shit anyway, so we're like, we're not even going to worry about it until we get a new one. So we're like, meh. But now if it's definitely moving back, we can just, now that it's actually August, we can hopefully buy our new laptop in the middle of the month. So, woohoo!
Nice.
We're excited. But I mean, that's the only bone that we really have to pick about it. I mean, we're never really on there anyway. So, meh.
I'm never on Redditopers. I use IRC a lot.
That's pretty much it on that topic. I mean, yeah. We know it's controversial, but we don't really have any input. If we did, be confident that we would say something about it or something. Meh. Okay. Next up, we talked to some people about topics for this podcast because we got the newbie podcast pushed back. So one thing that came up was kind of host versus toolbar things and things that are different, things that are the same. and basically how you guys go through day-to-day life as a plural system, which we thought we kind of done before, but not really in depth per se. So we're like, why not? It's going to be a short podcast anyway, so.
It's a very broad, vague topic, so there's not much. Well, there's a lot to say about it, but I'm not quite sure where to start. I guess we'll just go through our daily routines, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you want to start?
Okay then.
Start from when you wake up to the time you go to bed. Bam. That's the timeline.
Okay. Well, recently, I generally wake up at like 11, 12, because my parents decide to wake me up because parents. I don't know, I just lie there for an hour and generally talk to everybody. Probably get my laptop out, check up on notifications and stuff. I don't know, that's generally the time where me and everybody will kind of discuss like big events that happened like the previous day or something, and just clear up anything that needs to be cleared up. Or we just generally hang out and chat. And then, well, I don't really do much. So I generally just go out into the living room and probably spend most of the day on my laptop just watching Netflix or something, and occasionally going to walk the dog. If I walk the dog, Des generally hangs around with me and rambles on about crap that I don't really listen to. Yeah, and then I get back, have food, and then end up going back to bed at well, I generally go back to my room at about 10 in the evening, and that's generally when I'll do forcing and talk to everybody about toppers and stuff, and help out newbies and stuff. Like, all throughout the day, like, either Des or Faye or Isaac will be occasionally just popping in, saying hi, and talking about stuff. There's no real routine there. But, yeah, I generally try to do an hour of forcing before bed, but that doesn't always work out, because I usually end up falling asleep, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah.
What about during the school year? I know that's, like, totally different.
Alright, well, I'm in college at the moment, so I don't know. It depends what time college starts and on what days. So, for instance, last year I had college on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 till 5. So I'd wake up at like 8. I probably wouldn't have breakfast. Again, I'd just...
That's horrible.
Well...
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I'm sorry.
Eat oatmeal, even though I hate oatmeal, but I eat it anyway.
Ew.
Eat breakfast.
I could have porridge, I'm Scottish.
That's our healthy tip of the day, is eat breakfast.
Yes, definitely. I've lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
See what you do to me, Finn. God damn it.
You normally don't eat breakfast and then you go...
Oh yeah. I'll wake up, I'll lay there for about 20 minutes, probably talking to everybody. And then I'll not eat breakfast. I'll probably get dressed in about 5 minutes, and then run off to college. During college, Faye will probably hang out with me, because she likes learning. So she just generally hangs around with me in class, talks, occasionally offers up a bit of advice. Last year I was taking geography as well, in with my course, and she'd generally try and possess me during geography, so that was awesome. And she was actually pretty good at it. I think I've probably passed it with a good mark, but I'll tell you in a few days when my results come through. I'm not going to go on the record as saying that just yet. And yeah, and then I'll probably come back home, and then just spend the rest of the day in bed and, just hanging out, chilling, talking to everybody. There's really not much to say. I'm a very boring person, to be honest.
It's my turn then, huh?
I would imagine so.
Okay. Since it's summer, we don't really do much, but lately we've had horrible insomnia, so we don't go to bed till 6 a.m. But normally during the summer it's closer to 4 a.m. But we don't wake up until 2 p.m. So by that time we're whatever.
I generally go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at 12.
Yeah.
Normally when I'm not at my parents', I wake up at 5 on the days that I have off. But yeah, I'm trying to get out of that habit. It's not working so well though.
I'm just a night person, which brings me to my next point of my day. And I am a horrible person to get out of bed. Like, horrible. Like, if Nick doesn't poke me at least 5 times, and then my alarm clock wasn't a radio, which I turned it to pop songs because I really, really dislike pop, like right now, for some reason. So, like, the songs are oddly catchy, but they irritate me that early in the morning. So, since it irritates me, I'll have to get up and turn the radio off.
Yeah, I have my alarm clock set to Radio 1, which, well, you're American, so you probably don't know that that's the pop, like, station.
Ah.
And it is awful. I need to change that. Yeah.
But anyway, we don't have an alarm clock in the summer. But if we sleep too long, I still live with my dad. He'll be like, get up. So we'll be like, well, now we gotta get up. Nick is normally the one to like drag us out of bed and get coffee. And once you get coffee into me, I'm better. I'm not as grouchy. But I'm just not a morning person, just waking up person. I'm not. Ugh, it's horrible. And Nick is no better. He's like, I don't want to be up either, but I gotta get you up and moving. So let's move your ass. So
I'm fairly good at waking up. It's just I'm working on Eastern Standard Time, which is no good seeing as I'm in Greenwich Mean Time at the moment. It's just because everybody that I work with and talk with on the internet seems to be on the East Coast of America.
Hey yo. Well, we're not East Coast, but
well, you
we're
know,
their time.
like in that time zone.
Anyway, so after we get up, get some coffee. We like to eat protein bars for breakfast just because we've got like 4 different kinds. Like we like to mix and match, and we eat it with our cup of coffee. And then pretty much the rest of the day it depends on like what we have planned. Like normally if it's the weekend, we could go out to my cousins because they don't work on the weekends, or if it's a day that Kyle is free. Kyle is my boyfriend. We'll probably go over to his house and game and watch Netflix. And since it's summer, they've got the pool open and all this other stuff. If not, we kind of just watch Netflix all day or read or whatever we really want to do. We don't really do much either now that I think about it. During the school years, we wake up about 6, catch the bus, and there from like 8 until 3:30, and then catch the bus home, and then do whatever homework and blah, blah, blah that we have to do. And which normally we're pretty good about doing our homework in school. Nick is really good at history class, so like we aced that final with like I think it was like a 95.
Nice.
Or 97 or something like that. He loves history. Like, if any of you ever want to talk to him to like spark his interest, just mention anything historical. He'll be like, what? It's kind of funny. He also had a habit of throwing balls of paper at the teachers, which was kind of funny, but also made it very hard to focus.
Well.
We're going into our senior year of high school for all you guys that don't know. So,
Woo.
whoop. Yay.
You're almost grown up.
Well, technically, we're doing all college classes already, and we took dual enrollment just because the school has run out of classes to give us that aren't art or gym.
I want art. I want to take art.
I like art, but the problem is, like, it's not even, like, learning about art. It's mostly, like, as long as you do your work, you get graded and you make an effort, which is good. But, like, I'm not learning everything about the different styles of art or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fickle.
Yeah, my problem with art is it's always draw what we tell you to draw, and you'll get graded on that. And it's just... Yeah. There's not really much of a point to that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We don't like gym either, so like we're stuck with all of the weird classes. Or like the problem is with our school is we have a hard time finding teachers that are actually certified to teach certain things. So like they offered astronomy for the first half of the year, and then that teacher quit. So they stuck us all back in health with another class that had been learning health all year. And we're like, okay, whatever. Can't really do shit. But we finally got fed up and went to the she's like the head academic lady or whatever, and we took dual enrollment at a local college. So that was actually the best like 6 months of my life is that college class. Like, it was amazing.
I will swap colleges with you.
I would do it this year too if I had time, but I am trying to get a job, or we are anyway. So
I need a job, but I'm not trying.
We actually made a resume couple weeks ago. And, like, out of all the shit that we've done, we're like, you can't really put that on a resume. Like, you know, it's just not something that you put on there. Like, I'm a second degree black belt in Tang Sudo, so we can't really put that on, like, an application. Like, oh, yeah, we're a black belt. What's it gonna do? You can't stock shelves, like, kick the cans onto the shelf or some shit. Like, you can't do that.
Well, you can put that on there. I mean, well, it's not useful, but it's good to see that you're not lazy. It's good to prove that you're not lazy because, like, obviously, if you're the employer, then you're going to be looking for pretty much any signs that this person is actually going to do work. And so if you've been doing any of that you just said, then, I mean, it shows that you're an active person and that you will be willing to work.
The problem is they did it as, like, a study. The average employer in the US looks at a resume for 4 seconds.
Wow.
Which is complete bullshit, and you'd think it'd be more. But it's like 4 seconds to tell everybody your life story and why they should hire you.
Your country sucks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no, but we've got all the good junk food.
That's true. I don't actually mean that, by the way. Like, America's pretty awesome, but it can definitely improve in a lot of areas. Well, as can Britain,
Yeah.
but you know.
Which everybody can.
Yeah,
Anyway.
pretty much. Anyway.
I think, and then after we get home from school, we basically do whatever we want. Like, we watch Netflix all the time or read or whatever we have to do. Like, it's never really, unless we make a list, and I'm a list type of person. After we hit all of the points that we have to do for the list of that day, then we can do whatever we want. So it's never really like we have free time. It's just we have to get the shit done that we have to do before we can do what we want.
I am the polar opposite. I just procrastinate so much. Like, there was a form for college last year that I didn't get done for 3 months.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was sat there, and it was like half filled out, and I would just be like, I'll get to it in like an hour. For 3 whole months.
Oh, God. Which reminds me, we have to do a summer project. They finally have apparently hired teachers that can teach AP classes.
Oh, nice.
Besides AP World History. So we're going to be taking pretty much all AP classes. So we got some papers to do, which we already read one of the novels that they assigned us for AP English. But, you know, which I highly suggest. It's called The Kite Runner. It's an amazing book. I love it. Like, it's different, but if you want to read it, we like it.
Fair enough.
The other novel was just complete. We hated it, and we're not going to name it because we hated it that much. And we know it's like an iconic book. It was so hard to get through. Oh, God. Hated that book.
That sums up my views on The Great Gatsby. Like, I just probably might have enjoyed it if I wasn't forced to read it. But it was just... We spent so long studying parts where they're just in a car having conversation about random crap. I'm just like, no, just get to the end. Well, I won't spoil it, but you know,
Yeah.
it all kicks off at the end.
We tried to read it. I think we got like a quarter of the way through it.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope, because it wasn't required reading. But we've read pretty much all of the like iconic books, like Frankenstein. I loved Frankenstein. To Kill a Mockingbird, which, by the way, she just released her newest book, Ghost at a Watchman.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it. I love it so far. Scout is hilarious. She's 26 in this next book, and it's fantastic. What else? What are the other books we read? The one about the Civil War and Red Badge of Courage. That one was just meh. But like we've read pretty much all the stereotypical ones just because the library has nothing else but required reading. So we're like, why not read it early?
Yeah. I would say I'm not a fan of classics, but then again, my favourite book is War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and I have a lot of his books, and I've got a collection of 7 Jules Verne novels as well that I've still got to read. Des's favourite book actually is not a novel, it's actually a collection of Edgar Allan Poe's poems and works, which you really wouldn't expect from her if you've actually talked to her.
Right.
But there you go.
Nick loves Lord of the Rings.
I haven't actually read that yet, but they're staring at me on my shelf.
We read The Hobbit, and he's like, well, now we got to read the rest of them. And like, I haven't had the time.
Mhm.
And like, now that I think about it, I probably do have time. Like, we'll probably take the next one up north with us to read. But he loves Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
My favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird, but my favorite series is Harry Potter. There's a difference.
Yes. My favorite series is probably Skullduggery Pleasant.
Yep. We still have to read those.
You definitely do.
We have to order them.
Although I have read and thoroughly enjoyed pretty much every book that Darren Shan has ever wrote.
Oh my god, I love him.
Yeah, I've made it halfway through the zombie series, but I haven't finished that because, I don't know, I lost interest in it, and a lot was happening, so I need to get back into that.
We really liked The Vampire's Assistant, except the ending we felt was total bullshit. Like, just the way he ended it, like, just,
Yeah.
it was so frustrating.
Oh my, I just remembered that. Yeah, that was pretty
it was
annoying.
so frustrating. It was just like, what book was it I read? I read it like years ago, before Nick was ever around. But he read it just for the sake that it had like the main hero was male and like the stereotypical type of guy. And he got so pissed when he finished it. He was like, this is bullshit! And like threw the book at me. He's like, you could take it back! I think it was Intertwined or something like that. The guy was actually plural. He had 3 souls bound to his own.
Interesting.
It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But just the ending was like, ugh, it was a horrible ending, and we got so mad.
I might look that up.
You don't really know that he's plural until he starts talking to himself, and you wonder, like, where are they? And then you actually find out, like, they're in his head, and...
Fair enough.
And that he's not crazy, and... It's a really good series up until the end. Just...
Alright.
Meh.
I'll bear that in mind. I have so many books on my list to read. I've got Dune. I've got The Map of Time. I've got so much.
We haven't started reading the Dark Tower series yet, and we really want to. But we only have books 1, 2, 5, and 7.
Oh, God.
So, like, we can't just skip books. Our family owns a used bookstore, so we've been, like, kind of stocking the shelves in case somebody brings them in. Like, just take them off the shelves. That's probably also why our room is, like, covered in books. I have no idea what we're going to do with all of them once we go to college.
Send them to me.
Like, hell no, shipping for you is, like, $50. I was going to send him a shirt for Christmas. And, like, to order off the site to send him, it was, like, $20 for the shirt and $50 for the shipping to get it from here to there. Fuck that.
Next time you're in Europe, you can totally bring me a shirt. Just saying.
I could visit for, like, 3 times that price. Legit. Ugh, so mad. Which, by the way...
You were talking about how you don't know what you're going to do with your books when you move to college.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, I don't want to, like, leave them at home because I know they're not going to be taken care of if I leave them at home. But, like, I don't want to just stick them in a locker or, like, a storage space because those things get wet.
Yeah.
And I want them there with me. Like, not even to, like... The only thing I really have to take with me is, like, Harry Potter, for sure. All of my Harry Potter stuff. And then, like, maybe a couple other series. Or, like, I don't want them to get destroyed, the other ones, but I don't want to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of on the fence about living in the dorms versus living in an apartment, just because the apartments are so much more expensive.
Yeah.
But we could take all of our crap if we live in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends.
Yeah, I'm currently in student accommodation, which is just a bedroom and you share a kitchen with like 5 other people. I could have had a flat, but flats in Aberdeen, where I'm staying, is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have to find at least 3 other people in order to beat that down to a reasonable price.
Same. Like, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom was $1,500.
Yeah.
In the place that we're going to be, hopefully. It's ridiculous. And then, like, the other places, like, outside of campus were a lot cheaper. But the problem is either we take the bus, which... I guess I'm not against taking the bus. It's just the problem is I am 5'5", like 130 pounds. I am tiny. So, like, the amount of effort that it would take for a guy to, like, just pick me up off the bus and, like, capture me or something is not that hard. So, like, I'm, like, hesitant just because I want to be safe. But you know what I mean? Like it's sketchy. So unless we get a car, I think we're just gonna end up living in the dorms for our first year until my god sister graduates, who we're gonna get an apartment with
Yeah.
to split the rent.
I definitely need to learn to drive. I think I'm probably going to do that next summer if I've got time. Maybe the summer after that, because I'll be moving back home next year, because honestly, I'm just taking this college course this year in order to justify having paid another year of rent, because the college I'm at right now is so useless. The teachers don't help at all.
Ugh, I hate that.
Yeah. Like, I literally went up to one and said, you've told us to do this work, but you've not actually taught us the work. And she literally said, you should have been paying attention then. I'm like, that doesn't matter. You still didn't teach us the stuff.
Ugh, I hate that.
Yeah, and the people who you're supposed to be going to sort that stuff out don't listen either. You could go to the student council, but the student council in its entirety don't get listened to by anybody, which is just ridiculous. So,
Ugh. And there's nothing wrong with moving, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you need to do what's best for you
Hmm.
in the long run. We're trying to get financial aid so we don't put ourselves in crippling debt for college. Yay.
Fun.
I have no idea. We're going to have to see how much money the college is willing to give us. So, like, Stanford is giving away, I think it's 2 years worth of free education if you meet the criteria, which we did. So the problem is it's only 2 years of school. You know what I mean? It's just, what's the point of moving out there for 2 years when we can just stay here?
Yeah.
And probably get the same qualifications, because the college that we still want to go to, it's not an Ivy League school, but it's like one of the top schools in the country. So it's not like Stanford is really any different than the place that we're going. Hopefully.
Fair enough.
We'll announce it where we're going to go if we actually get accepted.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yay.
I think that's it. What else do we have to talk about?
What was our day-to-day life and kind of a tangent rant, sorry. Host versus Tulpa Tastes, if you still really want to do that one.
Well, I think we just minorly covered books.
Yeah. Food.
Food. Okay, so I'm not sure what Isaac's favorite food is. Oh, I know Isaac's favorite food. Just while I've got it in my head, it's steak.
Oh, yeah, Nick loves steak too.
I don't have a favorite food. I don't think Faye has a favorite food either. I think she just likes cooking, like, sweet stuff. Because she cooks a lot in the Wonderland. And she cooked me bacon once in real life, and it was surprisingly good. Yeah. Des, her favorite food is scrambled eggs on toast, for some reason. And my mom came and woke me up the other day, and she said, oh, do you want breakfast? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she said, okay, so I've got scrambled eggs and toast if you want. Without thinking, I just automatically said no, and I wasn't allowed to forget that for the rest of the day. So yeah, I should probably make that up to her at some point.
If it's junk food, Nick loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza, burgers.
Yeah, Nick's my kind of man.
Anything with grease clogging capabilities is his thing.
Yeah.
Except for the peanut butter and oranges thing, which we have covered before. And it's actually pretty good.
I'm still hesitant.
It's not that bad. Like, everybody's like, oh, you have to peel the orange. Keep in mind.
Well, obviously, yes.
You peel the orange, you don't cut it up. And, like, you split apart the slices, put a spoonful of peanut butter on each slice, and you eat it. That's how we eat it. Besides the one time that there was only, like, a little bit of peanut butter left, so we just kind of, like, stuck the orange in the peanut butter jar and, like, swirled it around with a spoon. That was funny to watch. I like taco salad. I think it's my favorite food.
Interesting.
Just because it's still a salad, but it's not.
Yeah.
I like eating healthy. I like salad, love spinach. Like, I could be vegetarian if I really wanted to. Yeah, I mean, other than that, TV-wise is the next one for taste. Nick isn't really into horror or anything like that, but if it's like zombie stuff, he likes that type of thing. He really likes CSI. He pretty much likes everything that I like, except for he loves History Channel on TV and like the Netflix specials and stuff. Like, He liked the Hercules stuff and like the Greek mythology and Roman mythology and all that other stuff too. I pretty much watch everything except for scary stuff just because I hate anything with ghosts and paranormal stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, all of us were into Supernatural, and then we finished like every episode that's out so far. So we had a hole in our lives, and we're currently watching X-Files, which Isaac isn't a fan of, but the rest of us are, so screw him. And there was something else. What was it we were watching the other day? Hold on. Let me pull up my Netflix and see what I recently watched.
We're switching back and forth between Friends and Being Human. The US version.
Ah, you poor soul.
It's actually just shut up, don't ruin it.
Hey, the British version's much better, I'm just saying.
I don't care. Like, it gave us the option of watching both, but we're like, meh, why not watch the US version? We'll maybe watch the British one.
Faye likes House.
I love House. Grey's Anatomy is another one good too. Scrubs. We watched Being Emily or something like that, and that show was just kind of stupid. Like, she was a doctor and she didn't really know what the hell she was doing, which I can respect. Like, not like medical wise, but like as a person, like a newbie doctor that had just come out of medical school, she didn't know what she was doing. But like as like a person, like her personality was just like, the fuck are you doing? Like, she fell for another guy, and after she finally like figured out like, hey, I am beautiful, like I can do this other stuff, she ended up going back to the guy that called her ugly, that's been her best friend for like years, after he slept with her best friend, and she like had sex with him and like broke the kind, sweet guy, cute doctor's heart, and we're like, you're an idiot. That shit was complicated. There was only one season anyway, so I can see why there was only one season.
Fair enough. Oh, and Des is really into Daredevil at the moment. We haven't finished it because we've had so much to do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We also seen, oh yeah, that's another part we didn't mention. We went to the drive-in the other day, and we seen Ant-Man. It was pretty good.
Nice.
We got a closer look into the Avengers, like the second group of Avengers.
Sweet. I need to see that.
And we also seen the new Terminator, which was super confusing if you haven't watched the first three. It was so confusing at the beginning. Like, all the way through the movie, we were like, what the hell is going on? We don't understand. And like towards the end, we were like, okay, whatever, just accept what's going on. And we won't spoil it, but we suggest before you go see it, just watch the other three. It helps. Like, we came home and watched the other three. We're like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
The other four, actually.
There are four? No, we'll see. What do we know?
Yeah, there's Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, and then I can't remember what the fourth one is, but it's set after the war.
Oh.
Terminator Salvation.
Oh, okay. So this one's Genesis. The ending was just, and then the thing, something happens that like confused the shit out of us because we're like, is that going to be another movie? Like, that's the potential for another movie, or just since everything happened, does it just not matter anymore? Or like, we don't know.
Well, that's the problem with Hollywood nowadays, is they leave at least one thing open at the end of pretty much every movie.
Yep. Question.
Just so that they can make a franchise out of it. Ugh, capitalism. Anyway.
You know, I feel like if they're going to make an effort to, like, make something good, they should just bring back Firefly.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like, just bring it back. Like, he's not that old. Like, they could bring the gang back, you know? I mean, it's possible.
Well, they can't bring the entire gang back now after the movie. But...
Right. But, you know, just, we seen a Firefly, a copy of Serenity in Barnes & Noble. We're like,
oh, nice.
And it was Yahtzee. So you put the dice in the ship and you roll it around. It was super cool.
Nice.
Nick and I are also very big into Game of Thrones. Kyle actually got us into that. But we're super big into Game of Thrones. Just because it has violence, but it's still got that, like, kind of past type like thing, but it's not. It's fiction, so still it fits both of our needs. So it's not boring, and it's got dragons in it. Like, we know history doesn't have dragons, but it's still cool, and like they still like go to the bathroom like chamber pots and stuff, so you know it's not like totally that far away from like the Renaissance times. And they still joust, like, you know, I feel like I'm going back to the Renaissance fair here.
Nice. I need to get into that. I've seen the first series a long time ago, and then I rewatched the first episode about a month back, but I just didn't get back into it. I started watching X-Files instead. But yeah, that's definitely something I need to watch again.
We're halfway through the first book, and it's so much. We're like, screw this. We're just gonna watch the show.
I read half of the first book, and it was actually really, really well written. I was actually quite surprised by it.
We were just confused, just because like there's so much detail in it. Just like the detail was just, I think also at the time that we tried to read it, we were just going through like a lot of stuff, so it just seemed like a little much for us. Maybe we'll try and read it, maybe not. We know the show is completely different than the book at this point, just because they have to take turns, because you can't have, like, those books are huge. If you're gonna have it exactly right, an episode is gonna be like 6 hours long. But, you know, meh. Yeah. I think we have ranted enough for one episode, and we've actually got an hour in.
No, we've got an hour on the call. I think we've recorded for about 40 minutes now.
Oh yeah, cool. So we're right on schedule. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So we don't have any more questions?
No. Wait, didn't we have questions from our questionnaire that were supposed to be answered in the previous podcast?
Probably.
Shit.
Yeah. We'll go back and look for those and
Next
probably put them in
week.
the next episode.
Yeah, sorry about that. We forget these type of things. This is like a slapdash episode, we said.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway.
I do believe that we are coming to the end of this.
Alright, so later everybody. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.